The silence of the archive was my sanctuary. Every rustle of paper, every click of a microfiche reader was a note in a symphony of preservation. I'm Elias, or I was. Now, I'm just a memory trapped in celluloid. My life was dedicated to dusty shelves and forgotten histories, a quiet existence spent cataloging the past. I prided myself on my meticulous nature, my ability to bring order to the chaos of time. Nothing escaped my notice, or so I believed. It was a Tuesday, I remember, when the crate arrived. Unmarked, no return address, just a plain wooden box left on the loading dock. Inside, nestled amongst yellowed packing straw, was a single, unlabeled film canister. It was old, dented, with a strange patina on the metal. Curiosity, the archivist's eternal flame, flickered within me. There was no acquisition record, no donation form. It simply was, against my better judgment, against every protocol I held secret. I took it to my private viewing room. The air in the room was always cool and still, the whir of the projector familiar. Comforting sound, I threaded the film, its brittle edges crackling under my fingers. The material felt wrong, too thin, almost like dried skin. I dimmed the lights, the projector beam cut through the darkness, and the film began. There was no title card, no studio logo, just static, then an image flickered to life. It was a single, static shot of a room, not unlike my own viewing room. An empty chair sat in the center, facing the camera. The film grain was heavy, swimming like insects across the screen. I watched, waiting for something to happen. A minute passed, then two. The sheer uneventfulness was unsettling. I leaned forward, my eyes straining to catch any detail. Was that a flicker in the corner? A shadow moving? Then I saw him. A man sitting in the chair. He hadn't been there a second ago. He was pale, gaunt, his eyes wide with a terror I could feel through the screen. He was staring directly at me, his mouth open, but no sound came out, just a silent, desperate scream. I felt a cold dread wash over me. This wasn't just a film, it was a window, and something was looking back. I shut off the projector, my heart hammering against my ribs. The room plunged back into darkness, but the image of the man was seared into my mind. I tried to dismiss it as a trick of the light, a product of my tired eyes, but the feeling of being watched lingered, a cold spot in the center of my back. For the rest of the day, I couldn't shake the paranoia. Every shadow seemed to stretch. Every quiet corner of the archive felt like it was holding its breath. That night, sleep offered no escape. I dreamt of the room, of the silent, screaming man. I was in the chair, and he was where I had been, watching me, his face a mask of pity. I woke up in a cold sweat, the silence of my apartment feeling more oppressive than ever. The film was calling to me. I knew it was madness, but I had to see it again. I had to understand. Back in the archive, the film canister felt cold to the touch. I threaded the projector again, my hands trembling. This time, I was prepared. I told myself it was just a movie, a clever piece of old-timey horror. The static crackled, and the room appeared on screen. The chair was empty. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Then, the camera panned. It had never panned before. It moved slowly, jerkily, across the room on screen, finally settling on a wall. On the wall were shelves filled with film canisters. My shelves. My blood ran cold. It was my viewing room. The camera panned back to the chair, and I wasn't it. Not me, but a perfect celluloid double. His face a mask of primal fear, his mouth open in that same silent scream. I scrambled back, knocking over my chair. I was watching myself die, but how? The film was old, decades old. It was impossible. I ran from the room, leaving the projector running. I didn't stop until I was outside, gulping in the night air. I needed to get away, to destroy the film, but an archivist's instinct is to preserve, not to destroy. It felt like a betrayal. The conflict tore at me. For days, I avoided the archive, but the film's pull was relentless. It whispered to me in my sleep, showed me glimpses of the room in every reflection. The line between my reality and the films began to dissolve. I'd see the grainy texture of the film overlay my vision. The world took on a flickering, sepia tone quality. I heard the faint, constant whir of a projector in the back of my mind. People I spoke to would sometimes freeze, like a stuck frame, their mouths open mid-sentence. I was losing my grip, the world becoming a movie I was trapped in. Driven by a desperate need for answers, I returned to the viewing room one last time. The projector was still running, the loop play over and over. My screaming face on the screen. The room felt different. The air was thick, heavy with the smell of ozone and decay. The projector's whir was deafening now, a physical presence in the room. I approached the screen, my hand outstretched. The light from the projector was unnaturally bright, warm. As my fingers touched the canvas, it wasn't solid. It was like dipping my hand into cool water. A force pulled at me, gentle at first, then insistent, irresistible. The static roared in my ears. The world outside the screen began to blur, to warp and stretch. The colors of my reality bled away, replaced by the monochrome of the film. I was being pulled in. I fought. I screamed, but this time, the sound was trapped in my throat. My office, my world, compressed into a single point of light, and then a darkness. When I could see again, I was sitting down. The chair was hard, uncomfortable. I looked ahead, and through a haze of static and film grain, I saw a room. My viewing room. And standing there, where I had been just moments before, was me. He was looking at the screen, a look of academic curiosity on his face. I tried to stand, to shout, to warn him, but my body wouldn't respond. My limbs were heavy, frozen. I opened my mouth to scream, but only silence came out. All I could do was watch, my face a permanent mask of horror, as my past self leaned forward, captivated by the strange, silent film he had just discovered. And now, I wait. I sit in this chair, in this silent, monochrome prison. The loop plays endlessly. A new viewer will come. They always do. They'll find the canister. They'll be drawn in by the mystery, just as I was. They will watch me, and they will feel the dread, the curiosity. They will watch until the film watches them back. And then, perhaps, I will be free. But I will be standing where they are, forced to watch their terror, another silent observer in this cursed gallery. So if you find an old, unmarked film canister, please, for your own sake, leave it in the dust. Don't thread the projector. Don't watch, because I'm watching you right now, and I'm waiting